Baseball's dead.
Rest in peace.
By the way, congratulations to us, #1 sports podcast in the world.
Hey-o! Round of applause.
Even if that's only true for like a week, that's just kind of how the rankings work, where it's like they favor brand new podcasts, which this is a brand new baseball podcast. Still, not how many people start a podcast and they're never the #1 sports podcast in the world. That's got to count for something.
We don't make the rules. We do not make the rules. We're just
we don't make the rules.
We're staying in the lane, and that's where the lane took us.
You know who does make the rules?
Tell me right now.
Rob Manfred.
Oh, fuck me, Carrabis. Can you guys, can I just, it is not lost on me whatsoever that the commissioner decides to hand out noise canceling headphones as his way to say, my bad, this whole off-season thing. That one might be on me. That one might be on your unk. And that, you know what? And for that, I'd like for you to drown out all the other outside noise that you've been hearing about how Uncle Rob rolls. And just believe you me when I tell you that I did this for you. It's one of those, like, you caught your first ass whooping from dad. And he's like, look, man, you're going to learn about this later. But that shit hurt me a hell of a lot more than it hurt you. Did it? I don't think it did. I don't think it did. I feel like that missed the mark there. But you know what? I'm all in. Appreciate the Bluetooth.
Sure. What kind of headphones were they? Do we know?
Bose.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty good. Better than what I have.
yeah. No free ads, but I mean, Bose is a great company.
Yeah.
He also wrote a note. Let's not cut him short.
Oh yeah, you're right, Joe. You're right. Please. Can you read the note? Read the inspiring words from Uncle Manfred.
I gotta find it. He didn't send me any headphones.
You didn't get the you didn't get the memo.
You gotta tell him because it's early for the viewers. They don't
Yeah, it
know.
is. It is early. This is we are pre 9 a.m. Pre 9 a.m. All right. I don't know how time works in the YouTube world, but I got to feel like that's really early. Like in the YouTube creator world, that probably translates to like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, man. No, I wake up at 9. People, they know me. I wake up at 9.
Yeah,
but we couldn't.
People know me.
We couldn't do it last night because Dallas wanted to watch A-Rod on the K-Cast.
Okay, yeah, that's something else we're gonna have to talk about.
I heard that people were complaining about that broadcast.
Really?
Yeah, I heard people.
Tell me more.
I heard people were complaining about that broadcast, and I heard that people were complaining about the Apple broadcast. So I didn't hear either.
So,
like, you want to talk about like young-ish people having difficulties with technology. There were 2 Apple TV games on Friday night. I watched 0 of them. I just couldn't figure it out.
it's pretty simple. You just
are you fucking technology shaming me right now?
I absolutely am.
It's pretty simple, Jared.
Yeah, you just click on the fucking game on the MLB package on your MLB.TV thing, and boom, takes you right to it.
Yeah, what? But I have cable.
That's wild.
But you also own. Oh, so you're saying trying to watch it through your television?
Yes.
Oh,
you think I put 9 TVs on the wall to watch the game on my fucking laptop?
No. Well, see, that's you and your smart TV thing. You got to figure that out. Like, you just got to download the Apple TV app on your smart TV.
This sounds like an ad read. It's not, but that you shouldn't make it so difficult to watch a baseball game. Like, I think, like, what Major League Baseball thinks that they're doing is, hey, this is what the young fans want. They want their games on the YouTubes and the Apple TVs, and then that's how we reach the younger audience. And then people like me are sitting here being like, well, I've only used Apple TV one time when I watched the Steve Carell, Jennifer Aniston show. Like, I watched that I haven't touched Apple TV before or since then.
Well,
and now all of a sudden there's Major League Baseball games on Apple TV. Like, what the fuck?
You guys should go check your mail, because today you might have the the sunlight blocker outer things, the sleep aids that you wear at night. I think Rob Manfred is sending those to fans all across the nation as his way of saying, hey, my bad. Didn't mean to block out all these fucking baseball games. Will you accept this sleep aid in its place of being able to watch baseball? Just put this on and imagine what baseball would be like. It's kind of like a VR headset, but you're not going to watch anything. I really want your imagination, though, to take you to the ball game.
So I didn't see it. I'm assuming Dallas. Did you see the Apple TV broadcast?
No, I was, as Joey astutely pointed out, I was en route to Florida out here. I was on the airplane, so
okay.
I did not catch that game.
But Joey, did you see the Apple TV broadcast?
No.
So no one saw it.
I was at the damn game, dude.
Perfect. I feel like we should talk about it.
All right, you were at the game. I guess that's an excuse, but I saw people tweeting that it was going out. I saw people tweeting that they couldn't find it, and then I saw the people that watched it and they were like, I muted it. So I don't know. Are we really doing the game a service by putting the game on Apple TV? And are we doing the game a service by who was even on the broadcast? What was so bad about it?
Also, yeah, I don't know. And like, honestly, I'd love to give you an opinion on what the broadcast was like, but I like, to be fair, I can't. I didn't watch any of it. And I can't just go based on the opinions of people on the internet, as much as I know people on the internet are just, right down the middle. They're totally unbiased. They give you just the truth every time. I still can't do that. But I'll say this, that's what the Apple TV stuff is all about, is about viewing options, right? Viewing alternatives, because as somebody who has done, like, however they disseminate baseball, I have called those games. I've called an entire game on a headset, on a VR headset, through a VR headset. I've done that. Calling games from just crazy, weird camera angles that people might have at home. Done that. I've done the Facebook games, the YouTube games, where there is no downtime. You're just constantly talking about something baseball related. And what those are alternative viewing sources, because where you can get your classic meat and potatoes type of broadcast, but to do something different or to take it in a little differently, that's what these big tech companies are trying to do. Just see if their alternative viewing sources actually stack up against, old reliable. Clearly they don't, where the younger generation can't figure the fuck out where to watch them.
Yeah. I'll admittedly, I didn't make a Herculean effort to figure it out.
That's on you.
But I was sitting there setting up the damn TVs, and I have like Xfinity, so I just hit like the microphone button, and I'll go New York Mets channel, St. Louis Cardinals channel, Pittsburgh Pirates channel, and then it'll put the games on, and then on the TV that I did New York Mets channel, it was just a blank screen, and I was like, am I just like paying attention to these other games, and I just always happen to look over at the Mets game during a commercial, or like, what the fuck? Like, where the fuck's the Mets game? And then as it was a blank screen, I saw Clem and KFC were tweeting about the Mets game, and I texted Kevin, and I was like, where the fuck is the Mets game? He's like, Apple TV, bro. And I was like, I didn't even know that they were doing games on Apple TV. He's like, yeah, that's the new Friday night thing. And then not only was the Mets game on Apple TV Friday night, there were two games. What was it? Astros Angels were also a fucking Apple TV game?
I watched the Astros Angels broadcast. I watched that Apple TV broadcast. That's who I watched. It was Hunter Pence and Katie Nolan, I believe. And I forget who was on play-by-play. But I watched.
That's an interesting pairing.
Very interesting. Very interesting. but that's the broadcast that I watched. So I'm just proud that I'm the one who fucking found it, and you two couldn't find it. Well, Joe was at the game.
I could find it pretty easily. I feel like, I mean, if you have Apple TV, which I'm sure like billions of people do, it's probably easy to find.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, Jared. Do you not have Apple TV?
I can't answer that question because of what you're gonna say.
Oh, bud.
Can you take your headphones off? Take your headphones off. My sister has an account, but I don't have one. So she gave me her login, but it's like to get on her account, she like texted me this thing to be like, yeah, I'm inviting you to like my family plan. And I just was like, I'm not even going to click on this. I was like, if you're sending me an invite to get on your Apple TV through a fucking text message, how do I get this text message to activate my television? It just seemed too much. It was too much. See, I would have loved to have watched the game. I really would have. As part of being a baseball fan.
How do you not take her up? Your sister, and trust me, buddy, she's down for a good login.
All right.
How do you not just let the login thing happen? Just let it. Come on, she let it happen. You let it happen.
You can't speak on this because if I texted you a link being like, hey, this is how you get on this streaming service. How do you get from a text message to viewing a game on your television? Tell me how to cross that bridge.
You're going to download the app on your television.
Uh-huh.
And the link that she's provided you, you're going to click on that, and that's going to give you the entry into the app that you've just downloaded on your television. It's just, again, she's versed in the login, Jared.
All right.
And you clearly are not.
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe next Friday I'll figure it out.
Next Friday is going to be a great broadcast. I can tell.
She's been logged. She's a veteran. She's a veteran login.
Yeah.
You need to step your game up.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably been logging in since she was like 13.
No. I just can't.
I don't even know what that means. What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
She logs into shit.
Well, there's nothing. It's just it is what it is, Joe. There's nothing funny about that. No. Are you judging someone who's been login active since like 13? That's all I'm getting at.
I know that I can't avoid this for the rest of the year.
No,
I know that I'm going to have to address this at some point.
So the sooner the better.
The sooner the better to have Apple TV to watch these games. But either way, I was hoping someone, because we're 0 for 3. Jake, did you see the fucking game?
No, not even close.
All right.
Baby, Jake.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So 0 for 4 is a bad day at the plate.
I feel like they are. It's not solid, but there's work to be done. This is something the broadcasts, Jared, and you know my rule. Like I don't speak on anybody else's effort to talk about the game and enjoy the game from a broadcaster's perspective. I don't do that, but I would be genuinely interested in the opinions of people who take in baseball in a multitude of ways to hear what those offerings do for the palate.
Yeah. Yeah. Unlike Dallas, I enjoy A-Rod. I enjoy broadcaster A-Rod. I do. I don't know who he did the broadcast with though. Was it with
Michael? Was
it with Michael K?
Yeah.
See, and I love Michael K.
I do too.
Love Michael K.
Yeah, I like Michael K. I like A-Rod the broadcaster. Put them together. I feel like that would be a good broadcast. But even
for who?
What I mean, I can see how that would be a very pro Yankee broadcast. I didn't listen to it. I was listening to Ravi and whoever the fuck else. I can't remember who was in the booth.
Ravi and Eddie and Coney.
Yeah. That was a good booth. I enjoyed that. But I did get a text message again, Dallas. Please don't make any comments. From my mom, who texted me and said, "This broadcast is the worst," in all caps. And I said, "Which one are you watching?" There's two.
Apple TV.
And she said, "With fucking Michael K and A-Rod. Where's the other one?"
Oh, Mama Rocket was on the alternative broadcast and not enjoying it, huh?
And I said, "ESPN." And she said, "LL, wish I knew that earlier."
Oh, man.
I like the idea,
for her
though.
to just reach out unprompted. Like I wasn't like, "Hey, how you digging the broadcast?" She just unprompted said, "This broadcast is the worst."
Damn.
You know what they should have done? They should have got fucking Ozzie Guillen,
Joe,
Jose Canseco.
You're gonna have to turn that shit into pay-per-view. Like you're gonna have like people will have to pay for that so they understand. Like, all right, you absolutely meant to watch this on purpose because what's gonna be coming to you through the TV screen, we cannot be responsible for. Okay, so we just need to get that out in the open. Joey, I don't know if you understand this. I worked with Jose Canseco on pre and post game one season, and it was not long. This is way before the All-Star break, Joe. He got on television with no shirt on and like live TV, no shirt on. And then was like, "Oh, my bad." And he slipped on a leather vest. So, and then proceeded to tell me I was full of shit. And he used that phrase, "Oh, you're full of shit." Like,
And the people loved it, I bet.
Well, people, a combination of loved it, and then we're like, this can't go on because this is, I don't know how strong this is content wise or integrity wise, but this is kind of what I expected. This is so they delivered. But yeah,
This
Jose
can't go on.
Jose didn't stick around much longer after that.
I remember blogging about that. Like when it first got announced that he was going to be doing A's pre and post or whatever it was, I was like, they should offer this to out of market.
Yeah, it was an experience to say the least. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I wish we could have stronger opinions on what that broadcast was like.
Well, why don't we make a pact to do the Apple TV thing next week? I know, Dallas, you're like, "Oh, I call Major League Baseball games and I'm going to be in the broadcast, so I can't." Me and Joey will go. We'll figure it out. I think Red Sox opening day at Fenway is next Friday, but it's like a 2:00 game, so I should be able to still catch the Apple TV. Is that going to be like the official pairings? Like Katie Nolan is going to be doing the broadcast with Hunter Pence?
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's an official.
They're gonna mix it up, or
I don't know if they're gonna like rotate crews or what.
I can't see Katie doing a full fucking season.
Yeah, I don't know what the offering is either. Like how many games or I don't know. That's why I said I have no idea.
Yeah, I know she doesn't have the best relationship with Barstool, but since we are with DraftKings, maybe she'll come on a DraftKings baseball podcast and we can ask her about it.
I would. You know what? I would genuinely love that.
Yeah, I'll ask her right now.
Yeah,
be like,
there you go,
Katie. What? Oh, I forgot to mention this. Speaking of Barstool, there was a player, our former baseball podcast, Dallas.
Yes.
They're still operating the Twitter for our former podcast.
Oh.
And players have reached out to me being like, "What the fuck is going on over here? Like, what happened? What happened to this account?" It's being noticed. It's being noticed that the account has gone downhill since we left. Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I don't I can't imagine what the content is like on a daily basis. I got to imagine it's just videos and shit, the same, similar to what might have been. I don't know. I don't know. It's No, I'll say this, Jared. I'm just glad that it didn't take long at all for the players to realize, like, oh shit, you guys are back in the game. And okay, nope, got it, sweet. Just a different destination, no problem.
Right.
That felt good. That made me feel good. And I'll be really honest. I did a lot of media hits leading up to, opening day and through opening day. I've been doing a lot of shit. And like, to a man, every outlet that I've talked to and I've been reached out to by a lot of other broadcasters and players like yourself that are like, yo, man, so glad you guys are back. Really good to hear you, blah, 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 blah. So that was really cool, because you never know how many people listen or where those ears are coming from. And so to have as many people reach out as they did, that was really nice. It was unexpected and very surprising, but it was really cool.
Yeah. And I feel like, so I haven't been to Fenway yet, obviously. But it was very eye-opening to see how many people, like, between like tweets and messages and all that stuff, were like, where the fuck's the show? Yeah. I'm like, because they didn't tell us our numbers over there. I had no idea how. Like, you could have told me it was 5,000. You could have told me it was 100. I have no idea. I have no idea how many people listen to that podcast. But every day that we were gone, all new names and faces being like, where the fuck's the podcast? Where can I find you guys? I'm like, really? Like, really this many people? So shout out to, which brings up this conversation topic that I'm going to hit after I do read a message from our friends at DraftKings. We have to talk about what the grounds crew is going to be renamed to.
Oh, yes.
There's some strong candidates.
Yeah,
there's some strong candidates.
Are we going to have to leave this to a poll? Is that what we're going to have to do? We're going to end up having to poll this?
Yeah, I feel like that's probably where this is headed. I feel like we should, like, us four should submit what we think is the strongest name, and then we can kind of go from there. But first, baseball fans, it is time to step up to the plate with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If the Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still take a swing at stacks of green with DraftKings daily fantasy baseball contests. New customers can play free for thousands in prizes with their first deposit. Pick a lineup of 2 pitchers and 8 batters while staying under the salary cap and rack up the points for hits, runs, strikeouts, and more. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. All you got to do, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code Jared, Jared. Bet just $5 to win $200 in free bets if your team wins their game. That is promo code Jared at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Got to be 21 plus. Restrictions apply. MLB trademarks used with permission. See the show notes for details. Joey, did you happen to see any of the candidates for the name of the listenership for Baseball is Dead?
Yes, we got Gravediggers. That seems to be the big one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we tweeted that out. Someone had Ghost Runners was pretty good.
I didn't see that one. Okay.
That was a new one from yesterday that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Runners, Gravediggers. I can't think of it.
I saw Gravediggers was popular, but it's not the one that I'm going to submit.
What are you submitting?
I'll submit you if you fucking say another word about my sister.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. Everybody logs in, Jared. I don't know why the conversation gets sticky when we start talking about your sister and her.
I'm with Joey. I still don't know what the fuck you're trying to say with making a login reference. I don't get it. But I do happen to like the Skeleton Crew the best. I do like that one the best.
I enjoy that, but you know what a Skeleton Crew is?
Maybe.
They're people who row boats.
They row boats?
They row boats. Yeah. Right? Isn't that correct? Yeah, that's correct. See, the problem with me being so much smarter than you is that sometimes I say things and you have
You
no
make you
idea.
question yourself.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, look it up. Look up Skeleton Crew.
I feel like that can't be correct.
Yes, it's absolutely correct.
Skeleton Crew. What does the saying skeleton crew mean? Plural, skeleton crews. Definition, just enough workers to keep a service or office operating.
Yeah.
We'll be operating with a skeleton crew until after the holidays.
I believe it's like an event.
No.
Yeah, it's or no, you know what? No, it's not. Yeah, we can move past this.
What?
I think it's like one man luge, to be honest. But they do
Oh
it.
yeah, dude. That has nothing to do with.
Yeah, it has
swimming
nothing to do.
or
Leave me
rowing.
alone, Joseph.
So you're wrong too.
No, I'm not. I was just off. That's all.
The reason I'm so much smarter than all you guys is because I know things that you don't know.
It's face forward one man luge is basically what it is. It's
It's
just
also the name of a Stephen King book.
face forward one man luge or skeleton crew.
Skeleton Crew, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I was off.
You were off.
But I like
did you
it.
have a favorite? I like it too. It's strong. I mean, clearly it has more than one meaning, so you might as well just give it another meaning.
Yeah. I really liked the Gravediggers. I enjoyed that one.
Either way, we're getting sued by someone. Either it's the operator of a monster truck or Stephen King, but
The Body Snatchers. I saw that. I felt like we're really getting into the weeds there.
yeah, I was gonna say now we're getting into like Norman Bates territory.
Soul Suckers.
Whoa.
The Soul Suckers.
That was just off the top. I just thought of that one.
The Succubuses.
Well, that'll be interesting to see where they land.
Yeah. Jake, did you like any that we haven't named yet?
I'm personally a big fan of the Graveyard.
Yeah, the Graveyard was solid. I think that's the first one that I saw. The Graveyard. I mean, I'm just saying, like, we call them the grounds crew. So the skeleton crew is kind of a nod to the grounds crew while also acknowledging that it's part of the new show.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hybrid. It's a combo. I'm a big hybrid guy these days.
Yeah. So that's my logic behind it. Is it's new, but it's a nod to where we came from.
I like that.
Skeleton crew. Yeah.
I like that. Moving
I mean,
forward
we could
while
just
still looking
this.
back.
Yeah, this could be a dictatorship, and we could just say, "Hey, guess what? This is what you're called." Because I don't think we voted on grounds crew. That was just kind of like, yeah, you are the grounds crew.
I think we put that up for a poll.
I don't think we did.
Oh, are you sure? It feels like we were very inclusive.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. We that name was thrust upon the listeners back in 2017.
Did you guys see did you see all the bullshit that happened between the Cubs and the Pirates? Or not Cubs, sorry, the Brewers and the Pirates? Or fucking Brewers and the Cubs, my God.
Are you under the influence?
No, I've just got Brian Hayes and his record-setting deal on my brain. I've just been thinking about that. So I was mixing up Andrew McCutchen getting drilled and Brian Hayes getting breaded up.
Yeah. Good for him, by the way. But why don't you say it now, because I'm not going to do a whole segment on the Pirates.
Okay, well, you know that you can't just call that out. That's not something that just gets required. I mean, Brian Hayes, 8-year, $70 million contract, breaking the old high water mark in Pittsburgh Pirate compensation history set by Jason Kindle, former teammate of mine, Jason Kindle, former backstop, $60 million deal, surpassed by now Brian Hayes, the man who finished 6th in Rookie of the Year. So we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I just want to be able. I wanted to be able to share with Bucko. He said Carrabis. Let's fucking go. The future's locked up. Brian, get your paper, kid. Bread it up. Chicken titties. So we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but I just wanted to get that out there.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. Of course. How could I not, given the circumstances? But the beef between the Cubs and the Brewers has been going on for a minute. Wilson Contreras has been the catalyst in all of this, and I'm not placing blame on Wilson Contreras. I'm just saying
He's been a magnet.
he's been at the epicenter of this, and some of it he hasn't been entirely innocent, but mostly innocent. These two teams have played each other 30-something times over the last few years. Wilson Contreras, I think there's been like 20-something hit by pitches, and he's been almost half of them. He's been hit like 10 times.
Bro, he's been drilled 15 times since 2020. 15 his
I'm
entire
talking
career.
just the Brewers.
Yeah, but by the Brewers. He's been drilled 15 times in his career just by the Brewers.
Yeah.
Like 12 12 last year since 20. It was fucking insane.
Yeah. There's one particular at bat where he got hit in the face and didn't go down and still took his base. There was one incident where he was leaning into it, like he was trying to get hit on purpose. There was that one time. But for the most part, he's been drilled a lot by the Brewers. And also, it's important to note, I don't think that there's been any it's been super unlucky. It's been really unlucky that it's happened a lot and that it's been him every time.
And they've talked about and Joey, like, I don't know if you if you pay attention to this when you think about doing videos and stuff, but like there's scouting reports and there's information on how to get guys out, how to best go about getting guys out. And when your heat map is blue up and in, or it's blue in, what that means to a pitcher is, oh, well, I can swim in that blue all day long. Attack here, go here. This is where the outs are. I'm not going to stray away from that. This is where I'm going to make my money in here. On the flip side of that, if I don't execute in off and I end up drilling you, I know that that's a byproduct of me not executing. As a pitcher, it's easy to say that because we're not the ones getting drilled. Right? We're not the ones wearing it. But to Wilson Contreras' point, he's saying, this is the fucking big leagues. Okay? If you can't get it in here without drilling me, maybe you shouldn't throw it in here. And I understand that and respect that 100%. The only thing is there's no rules against not being able to execute in there. Pitchers are still allowed to try to throw in there, even if they end up drilling you. So it's just a byproduct of trying to attack that part of the strike zone. Wilson Contreras, though, is like, dude, 15 times from the same organization? Fuck you. Fuck you. We're
every
done with
team pitches them inside, but only they hit them every time.
Well, it's, the division rivals, that whole thing, like, that factors into it. But to your point, that's why the fuse is so short. Because it's like, hey, I'm not getting fucking drilled 12 times by every other ball club trying to work me inside. They figure it out. Why am I just turning into a fucking punching bag here?
Well, what really set it off was them hitting McCutchen.
Right. Well, that's ultimately what we're getting to here, right? Is because, how many dudes have been hit? 4 dudes had already been hit by that time, right? Like within the game. Madrigal got hit. Contreras got hit. Happ got hit. They thought he broke his fucking hand. And Yelich ended up getting drilled. And then McCutchen gets drilled. And the whole beef
Didn't Happ get hit in the knee?
Or yeah. Not the hand. I was thinking about different dude.
Yeah.
So McCutchen is saying, I knew that I was going to get drilled. Everybody in the ballpark knew that I was going to get drilled. Problem is, you go up there as a pitcher and you start flipping burgers away, flipping sliders away, cutters away, or whatever it is. And it's almost like you're lulling the hitter into a false sense of security in the situation, which that hitter is going to say, especially a veteran hitter like Kutch, is going to say, oh, okay, I'm not getting the medicine this time. Like we're gonna just play ball. Got it. So he starts to lean over, or he starts to allow himself to track pitches with a comfort level where he's not worried about just taking a dose, right? But then you end up drilling him. Credit to the guy who drilled him for putting it in his ass. But still, that sounded terrible. Credit for not hitting McCutcheon in the fucking head, or letting it slip. But like Hutch said, there's ways to go about this. There's ways to do this. I think we may have lost Jared for a little bit here. And he wasn't happy about it. Justifiably so.
Why do you think he did that? Why do you think do you think will you throw an outside pitch or throw one pitch just to try not to get thrown out of the game?
So that's been the rebuttal, is in an effort to not get ejected, I have to sort of make it look like it's not the intentional beanball that it is. So can you work with me here a little? And McCutcheon's saying no, because nobody's been warned here. Or maybe, I'm not sure if warnings had been distributed at that point. But if they had, which I would assume, next guy wearing one's getting fucking ran. Yeah. So it's not a matter of, covering for a suspension or anything like that. Like, what's coming.
Yeah.
But he's saying, like, dude, there's ways to go about this. And so he was not happy about it.
Really, yeah, just thank God he put it in his ass, though. Because if he didn't do that, then, all hell would have broken loose. There was a bench clearing incident, but it wasn't a brawl. It was, like Hayward was kind of jawing a little bit. Kutch wasn't happy. Yelich was kind of like yucking it up with, I don't know who he was. He was smiling and laughing. So that's usually baseball brawls in a nutshell. Some people are mad. Some people are like, hey, why the hell are we out here? But I mean, yeah, these two teams are probably going to fight at some point this year. Like the fact that we got this in the opening series and there's carryover from incidents that happened last year and the year before, they got to just fight and get it over with.
Well, that's
the tension between these two teams has gone on for way too long without an actual physical altercation.
Isn't that like, I would say the 2-year mark is like where we start drawing the line between carryover and it's just bad blood. Like that's what it is now. It's bad blood.
It's going to if you're Wilson Contreras, how do you get to a point where you've been hit double-digit times by the same team and the most that you've done is just like look out at the mound and be like, oh, you hit me twice. You hit me twice in the same game. It's like, all right, yeah, we did. Like, what are you going to do about it? You're going to take your base? Yeah? Okay, all right. That's it. Like, someone has to do something. Then that's when it stops. And that sounds like a very hardo take, but that's baseball. I mean, how many times can one side drill the other side? I know that they threw at Brandon Woodruff last year, and that was when the gif of Woodruff, I forget who was throwing at him, and they missed, but he looked back out on the mound. He's like, that's fucked up.
Yep.
That's fucked up. Because I don't think that whoever, like Woodruff, I think it wasn't Wilson Contreras, but it was someone he accidentally hit.
But when you think about it, though, there's so much, and this is the thing that I feel like guys have to admit too, is underneath it all is bravado, right? Like we're talking about how to hit a guy intentionally the right way, and there's bravado that comes with that. The guy who was the target, Andrew McCutcheon, is showing the bravado by saying, I was ready to take it. If I'd have got it on the first pitch, it's all good. I'd have taken the medicine and gone to first base. There's bravado behind that. And not being happy with how things were handled ultimately boils down to bravado, boils down to, your ego, right? Like that I wasn't treated the way I felt like I should have been treated in this situation. Whether or not it's an unwritten rule situation, whether or not it's a hard old school policing the game itself situation, however you want to look at it, it all just sort of boils down to ego. And for Wilson Contreras, he's talked about understanding that this is what the scouting report says. So he knows that for better or worse, it's not necessarily intentional. So to your point about when does it stop? Well, Wilson Contreras has to walk that fine line between being an asshole, quote unquote, being a hardo who can't just understand that people are trying to get him out, or tapping into that bravado and saying, look, you can't fucking pitch inside. Your organization cannot get me out inside without drilling me. So I've got to come out here and show you that I'm not going to take that shit. If you want to keep throwing inside, well, then I guess I'm drawing the line at 15 HPPs. You drill me every 15 times, I'm coming out there and I'm taking somebody's fucking head off.
Yeah.
Like,
which is this situation was, I think, very much different from what happened between the Mets and the Nats, though. Like the Mets and the Nats, like that's just, hey, we don't know where the fuck our shit's going.
So scary. So scary.
When you just don't know where the fuck your shit is going, I'm sure it's embarrassing for the pitchers. Like I don't think that they're lighting guys up and standing out there on the mound being like, yeah, shit happens, take your base, shut the fuck up. And they're like, I mean, if it were me and I genuinely didn't do it on purpose, I'm like, there's definitely like a level of embarrassment that comes along with that.
Yeah, there is around your, like, maybe around your peers, but it's not what I think you might think it is. There's a bit of embarrassment, but there's also, you got to understand that guys know that if I just spray this 97 up and in and I get a crazy take or I end up knocking the guy down and I don't hit him, then you know what that did? That just opened up the outer part of the plate for me because that guy's not going to be diving. Your brain doesn't go to, oh, I hope he doesn't think ill of me because I haven't been able to throw a fucking strike here. Like they think, oh, I can work off of that miss. No big deal. But when you drill a guy, when that pitch ends up hitting somebody, that's where the embarrassment really comes in. Where you're like, fuck, that was not on purpose. The plate is 17 inches wide and it's down over there. And I just put one in this guy's fucking ear hole. Like, fuck me. Seriously? Like, that's where the embarrassment comes in.
Yeah. And I don't want, because I think what I said about it on Twitter was you can see it from both sides where, no, I don't think that there is any intent on the Nats side of things. But yes, the Mets do have the right to kind of come out there and be like, what the fuck? And because, you know, not that there's a large contingency of Nats fans out there. I think if it were a more buzzing fan base on Twitter, that it would be more of an issue. But to the fans that were saying, like, why are they getting so upset when it's not intentional? Because when it happens that many times, of course, as players, you're going to get frustrated. Of course, you're going to look out there and be like, if you can't pitch inside, then fucking like what if you can't throw this pitch, if you can't control it, then stop fucking throwing it. You keep hitting our guys, of course we're going to get pissed. You're going to start hitting dudes like Francisco Lindor, a guy like that. There's been so much hype and buzz and promise around the New York Mets between last year and also even more so coming into this year. And in the opening series, you want to hit Francisco Lindor. I don't want to say the franchise player, but he's one of them. They've got a bunch now. You want to hit him in the face? Yeah, we're going to be upset about that. He's going to be upset about that because that's his life and his career. And to the other guys, that's potentially a big key piece to a ticket to the World Series. So yeah, it doesn't matter if there's intent or not. The fact that it keeps happening and you're not able to control your pitches, yes, we're going to get frustrated. Yes, we're going to get upset. Yes, you're going to hear from us. And also, let's not forget who's in the dugout as the manager of that team now. He don't play that shit. So
Buck, don't fuck around.
He came out first. But I want to.
Yeah, he was the first guy.
Yeah, not every Mets fan's like, wow, we're so good. We got hit. We did it. We got in a fight. That's the annoying part. As someone who hates the Mets, is that this is like now they're like, wow, we're back.
You don't like that they've got a rallying cry now, Joe?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
I don't know. I was there live, so I have a different perspective. I saw it in person, and I think Lindor should have got out of the way, but that's just me.
You think Lindor should have done a better job of getting out of the way? How hard was it? 90 fucking 5?
I would have dodged it, but he tough player, stayed in the game. But I think he's tough player, but should they eject the pitcher though for that if it's obviously not on purpose?
No, but that's like this is the situation we find ourselves in, with the understanding that there's going to be retaliatory efforts under the guise of the game policing itself, and there's also going to be errant pitches that just find their way to a batter, and you have to determine which is which. Another task for the umpire that's not easy, because the umpire understands that there's a level of unspoken policing going on in the game that will always be there, and they're the arbiters of that. And they're like, that's not an easy job, dude. That's just not an easy job. So if you're getting a few guys drilled from here on out, that's where the warnings come from. It's almost like saying, look, all right, one of you got hit. I'm issuing a warning just so you understand. If you're going in, you better go in. And if you're going to drill somebody, it better be with like a backup breaking ball, so we understand that it wasn't on purpose. So it's a way that the umpires kind of help themselves out and put themselves in a position to be able to control the game.
But there wasn't a warning before that pitch from that game. Like, they tossed him. He came in. That was his first. I think that was his first outing as a Nat. Threw 1-2 pitches, hit a guy in the face, got taken out.
Yeah,
that's debut.
That's not solid. It's a memorable one / forgettable one. Yeah, that's tough.
And I didn't even see where Lindor played the next day, I think, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So, they're lucky. Even Alonso, what he got hit like in the shoulder, and then it like ricocheted off his lips.
Yeah, shoulder ricochet, and then what did he do? Then he fucking dropped dick the next day, didn't he?
Grand slam.
Dude
fucking rolled his truck, got hit in the face with 98, and then hit a grand slam.
That's right. You don't mess with Pedro Alonso, baby.
Yeah, that was badass. By the way, I thought I was fucking seeing things. So like this, the Google, I've never really had like a real job, so I'm not familiar with Google Docs. I had the Google Doc up with like the topics that we had discussed, and I looked at it earlier, and then I just looked at it again, and it changed, and I thought that I just like didn't read it right before, but I think it's because as Jake updates it updates for me. So I was like, I just had a moment where I was like, what the fuck, man?
Wow.
Yeah, that's how Google Docs works, Jared.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I was not previous. Why the fuck are you laughing, Dallas? Like you use Google Docs.
You just log in and we'll talk about
geek.
It. Yeah.
I don't get it. By the way, Joey, this is another thing that Dallas will do is like he'll like make up an inside joke with himself that like doesn't make any sense, and he'll just ride it till the wheels fall off. Like he'll just be making login jokes for the next 5 years, and no one will get it, no one will laugh, but he'll think that it's funny.
It's already picking up steam.
Yeah, yeah, no one will ever get it.
It's not a joke. She logs in, no?
Yeah, she logs in.
Yeah.
Yes.
We saw a couple rookie debuts. I believe Dallas tried to pick Bobby Witt because he just refused to abide by the rule of you can't pick a favorite. But the rookie of the year debuts, we had Bobby Witt, who got a knock standing ovation, which was pretty cool. The fans in Kansas City, that was really fun.
Yeah.
And then the J-Rod show for America's team, our Seattle Mariners, made his debut, got a knock.
Yeah, both guys and both hits actually very, very impactful in their team's ball games, which would turn out to be the game-winning hits. Yeah, pretty special. J-Rod, he got caught looking, I think, 3 times, which is not favorable. It's not super exciting. But then you come
don't
up
worry
and-
about it.
Yeah, no, you erase all that with a game-winning knock. Hell yeah. And then Bobby Witt Jr., you see the play he made at third base?
Oh, it was sick.
Like to gun the runner at home. Like it's just, you have no business even processing that as an option over there unless you have his instincts. He's anticipating that ball, and this is what I'm going to do if I get this ball hit to me in this way. And it happened, and he uses the turf beautifully to get the ball to Salvador Perez, who does a Gold Glove caliber job of picking it, swipe tag, because a lot of times guys go into the swipe tag and either the momentum of them trying to pick the ball and immediately bring the glove over ends up spitting the ball out, or they never really have control of the baseball because they're trying to, in one fluid motion, pick the ball and swipe tag. Well, Sal, like I said, that's gold back there, baby. So he picked it, swipe tag, bang, runner done at home plate, and just a ridiculously athletic effort from Bobby Witt Jr.
Did he hit the walk? Was that a walk-off, his first hit? The first game?
Yes.
That was a sick game. And Greinke pitching?
Yes. Yeah, Greinke pitching. So many years in between his opening day start and then starting again for it was all really cool.
Standing ovation. I should have picked him for Cy Young.
Greinke?
Can I pick 2?
No, Joe, you can't.
But if
you
it's
can't pick
but Greinke's kind of on the back end. You don't know. People don't think he's going to win it. I think he's going to win it.
Okay, well,
maybe he'll get second. But yeah,
we'll let the record reflect.
Also, that guy in Cleveland, Stephen Kwan, he's the real rookie so far.
I can't believe we've gone this far without mentioning his name.
Stevie Kwan?
Yeah.
Stephen Kwan.
I mean, when's the last time that happened? 1800 something shit? Is that right? Did I see that correctly?
He had a record. He did something that was first on Twitter. I saw.
Yeah, first rookie to have 5 knocks.
I mean, he has started off his major league career by going 8 for 10 with 2 doubles.
That's a
and
good start.
3 walks. 8 for 10. He scored 4 runs, 2 doubles, 3 walks. His on-base percentage is .857.
Damn.
857.
Come you, Stevie.
Good for him. I mean, this is he's what, 24 years old? 24 years old. A 5th rounder out of Oregon State.
Yeah.
And he is part of the Guardians' offensive outburst against the Kansas City Royals over the weekend. And I mean, he was essentially a baseball Twitter darling over the weekend. Like, if you weren't tweeting about him, if you weren't in on Stephen Kwan this past weekend, you were uneducated.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Get with the fucking times, people.
Yeah. I want Stephen Kwan on this. I want the first guest of this podcast to be Stephen Kwan.
Let's go get him.
I'm gonna look him up right now on Instagram. If he follows back, let's get him on.
Let's go get him. The other debut that I was really anticipating was Cincinnati Red right-hander, young fireballer, Hunter Greene.
Oh, yeah.
Because, boys and girls, it's fucking thunderous. Okay?
Did you see my tweet about it?
About his outing?
I said I said, what do you think the list looks like? Or how many names long is the list of pitchers who have gotten their first major league strikeout on a pitch that was at least triple digits? How many names do you think are on that list, roughly? Chapman is one that I can think of.
I was going to say 4, maybe 5. Ohtani?
No.
I don't know if it was a split or a fastball.
Yeah, I don't think I would not have guessed Ohtani. I would off the top of my head, because I don't even know if we can like fact check this somehow. I'm sure there might be like some nerd listening that, that knows. First major league strikeout on a pitch of 100 miles an hour or faster. Nate Pearson comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Those two names, I mean, it can't be a long
Gratterall.
list. Yeah, Gratterall maybe.
Jordan Hicks.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
it's not a long list, and I would imagine that most of the guys have made their debuts within the last 10 years.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Hunter Greene, just to give you an idea too, dude threw 56 fastballs, okay? 56 fastballs. You want to take a shot at what the average speed was? Average velocity, 56 fastballs. What his average velocity was?
99.2.
That's a hell of a guess, Joe, but you're wrong.
I was close.
You were close.
98.7.
You are also incorrect, Jared. Thank you for participating.
Thank you for having me.
Jake, what do you got?
98.9.
You were also incorrect, Jake. Appreciate the effort. Herculean effort. It was 99.7 miles an hour. So you're essentially averaging 100 miles an hour on 56 of the fastballs that you threw in your big league debut. Like, hey, how'd the go? How'd the arm feel? Fastball felt good. Sitting right around 100. Yeah, I'd say that felt pretty fucking good. He hit triple digits 20 times. 20 fucking times he hit triple digits. He topped out at almost 102, 101.6.
Do you think that's sustainable? How much of that was big league debut adrenaline?
A lot of that, but a lot of that is very real too.
Didn't he throw 102 in high school?
Yes. This dude was so Joey, I was at MLB Network when Hunter Greene was drafted. So I was there representing the A's and announcing our draft picks while, they had, the first rounders or the first round hopefuls. Some of those kids were there. Hunter Greene was one of them. Brendan McKay was also one of them. And I made sure that I spoke to both those dudes because those were, at the time, two highly touted potential two-way players. Because Hunter Greene also dropped dick on top of blowing cheese. So it was like, oh, is he going to do this too at the pro level? Like Brendan McKay, lefty, blowing 95, 97 from the left side. He's also an outfielder, first base or whatever the hell. Like, is that going to be real at the next level too? Like, so my wheels were already turning. But seeing Hunter Greene in person, seeing how big he was, how physically imposing he was already as a 17-year-old, I was like, yeah, this dude's going to be a fucking issue later. Like, this is going to, like, if he's blowing a hundo right now and it's smooth, it's effort, like, this is going to be problematic. And yeah, it appears that it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, how many people have done that in high school? 100?
Yeah,
At all?
That list is even shorter. So
Yeah, I was on that list.
no, you were not even close to that list.
You don't know that. You don't even know that. You don't know that.
I got a strong feeling, but Matt Olson did take that 101.6 and turn that right back around and little knock up the middle.
I'm glad that you brought it up, Dallas. I'm glad you brought it up. I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait until we talked about the Toronto Blue Jays series because we have a couple different things, couple different angles, side stories to branch off of the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll still get there. But since you brought up Matt Olson, it was a weekend where we saw the Atlanta Braves debut of Matt Olson, who homered. We saw the Toronto Blue Jays debut of Matt Chapman, who also homered. Would that make you feel seeing that? Those two guys, Chappie, Ole, the boys.
Montez is pretty good too.
Yeah. Sean Manaea actually, did he get taken out with a no-hitter?
That's what I meant.
He had a no-hitter going?
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I think Sean Manaea, who by the way looks perfect in a Padres uniform. I tweeted that actually. I said it's interesting how some guys with the new team can look so wrong, like Kenley Jansen with the Braves just doesn't look right. But then you see a guy like Sean Manaea with the Padres, and you're like, this is meant to be. Like, this looks right. This looks like he's been there his whole career. Like he never played anywhere else.
And it's only because he looked so good in the Kelly green and gold that had a similar styling where you're like, you know what? My eyes have seen this aesthetically pleasing scene before. So I like you were already being led to the water and now you're drinking
That's not
it
it.
up.
No.
That's what I think it is. I mean, let's be real. He hit the fucking uniform lottery, did he not?
He did.
Going from the green and gold like that to the Padres uni situation, like I don't know that it gets much better, man.
Yeah. I think if he made one last stop in his career with the Kansas City Royals and he wore the powder blues, then that would be trifecta.
I was just going to say, you understand that that's where he came from.
The Royals?
He is a Royal farmhand.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so he like possibly the Holy Trinity of
How
uniforms.
the fuck did he end up in Oakland? What trade was that?
I'm not sure. Was it not the Mike Minor, fucking Mike Minor deal?
Mike Minor.
I'm not
Sean
sure.
Manaea. Let's look at his transactions. He was in Ben Zobrist.
There you go.
Traded by the Kansas City Royals with Aaron Brooks to the Oakland A's for Ben Zobrist and cash.
Yeah. So the Atlanta Braves powder blue might be my strongest candidate of the powder blues, but either way. Yeah, I'll tell you what it made me feel. It made me feel happy for the players because, and these are just facts, there's a different vibe as an A's player and as a young A's player when you go on the road to a big city, to a major market, and you feel that energy for the first time. And it's a very different feeling when you are then traded or you find yourself on a new team and you are having the same success you did while you were a member of the Oakland A's, but the vibe at home is just different because it is what it is. Like for Matt Olson and Matt Chapman, they're playing in front of 35,000 plus people every single night. The reality of the situation is that was not the case when they were Oakland A's. Still playing just as well, still being celebrated just as much by the people who were there. But that right there in and of itself, the number of people who were there makes that celebration and makes that energy feel very, very, very different. Same thing for Sean Manaea and the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
So
There's one name that I didn't mention, Dallas, in terms of former A's making their debuts with their new teams over the past weekend. There's a name that I left off the list. You know what name I'm talking about?
Marcus Semien?
No. Played a big role for his team, actually. He
Chris Bassett?
Nope. Bassett looked really good, too. Really saved his team over the weekend.
Not Liam Hendricks.
Not Liam Hendricks, no. No.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Jake Diekman.
Oh my! Oh well, see,
Jake
I mean,
Diekman.
the recency, like I tweeted about it last night.
Yeah, I saw the tweet. So Codify just tweeted this out right now, tagged me in it. Jake Diekman became the first lefty to get a 3-batter, 3-strikeout save against the Yankees on the road ever.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! Well, it was absolute. As I said in the tweet, it was abusive. Like if there was a hotline that fans could call to be like, hey, we got to stop. I feel really bad for the hitters. Can we stop this? I'd like to report absolute murder. That hotline would have been lit the fuck up yesterday watching Jake Diekman just demoralize the meat and potatoes of the pinstripes. Because there's
The
no
1-0 slider to Gallo was an actual, that was bullying.
Joey Gallo legitimately thought his life was coming to an end. That's why I tweeted that too. Like, this is the moment where Joey Gallo thought that this baseball was going to be going through his ribcage. Like, you could hear him through your TV brace for it. And he's like, oh shit, it's a strike. What? That's not fair. I can't hit that. And remember, Jake Diekman a couple years ago picked up the slider from Pitching Ninja.
Did he really?
Yes. He's watching a grip. I'm trying to remember whose slider it was. It might have been oh my God. Why is the name escaping right now? But anyway,
Was it a lefty? Why do I feel like it was a righty that he just used an inverted grip on?
yes. Yep.
It was?
Yeah. I think it might have honestly, I think it may have been the Chaz Rowe slider.
I mean, who wouldn't fucking throw that if they could?
Right. So, but watching Jake Diekman move the fastball around and then move the slider around the way he was doing, it was poetic. It was poetic. Just abused Aaron Judge. Heater 95 up and in. No shot of getting to that. Aaron Judge put together a strong battle. It was a good battle there. Fouled off some sliders down and away. Fouled off a heater up, but then couldn't get to the 95. Couldn't get to the 95 train up top. Jake Diekman, see you later. And then Giancarlo Stanton. He missed. First of all, he was tardy on the fastball. That he missed by about 6 inches away because that thing looked like it ricocheted at about 58 feet and just took a hard left out of Jake Diekman's hand. Yeah. Like, no shot of getting to that. And then obviously, Joey Gallo just got put into a fucking blender with the slide piece.
It was bad. It was real bad. I mean, that being said, you can't not love what you saw from Diekman on Sunday night, but I don't know that I'm ready to just hand him the closer spot based on one appearance. But
who else
so
down
far
there
so
you handed
good.
the ball to? I'm not saying that there's not options.
Well, Garrett Whitlock is the correct answer, but then you still don't have your multi-inning weapon that they are obsessed with using him as. I would much rather have Garrett Whitlock be a traditional closer than a piggyback guy.
Stop that. Because you know how important a guy like Garrett Whitlock is? You know how important he is, and so does your manager. Your manager's no fucking idiot. He understands how important Garrett Whitlock is. And in this game today, Jared, you absolutely have to have that guy that you can deploy 7th inning. Shit hits the fan right now. He can get us these 2 outs, go get us 3 more. You got to have that dude. And whether it's from the left side or the right side, guy right now.
Yeah, that guy is important, no doubt.
They're one-man bridges. They're one-man bridges these days.
Yeah, that role is important. It's just that the way that the Red Sox bullpen is constructed, I would much rather have Whitlock for, it's hey, We lost the first 2 games of this series. It's a 1-run game in the 9th in Yankee Stadium. We got Judge, Stanton, and fucking Gallo coming up. Who do I want in that spot? I want my best guy. All right, well, we can't because he went multi-innings yesterday. Oh, okay. That sucks. So, all right, we'll get to roll the dice on someone else.
You're also, this is where the manager's role comes into play, though. What's his job? To make sure that his team understands what they're there for, what roles they potentially serve, and then it's his job to instill that confidence in that group. So what does he look like to his newly acquired back-end arm piece if he doesn't call him to come to work that day in that moment right there? Jake Diekman, 3 days into this season, is going to go into that clubhouse going, hey, what am I doing here? What am I don't know if you saw the ball game, but I could pitch and you didn't ask me to pitch. I'm just wondering why I'm here. You don't want to have that conversation 3 days into the season. And Alex Cora, like I told you, is no dummy. So you've got Whitlock, who's down because of the work he's put in the day before. But you know what that means? You've got your closer up and ready to roll. You've got your guy. There's no better opportunity to show Jake Diekman that you believe in him, that you can use him for this moment, than putting him in that moment. And he got rewarded with the first 3 strikeout save by a left-hander in Yankee Stadium ever. The fucking gunslinger.
Ever.
Jake Diekman, the gunslinger.
I wanted to ask Joey this question. The Braves World Series rings.
Woo!
These things were fly as fuck. I wanted to get your opinion on what you thought about these rings.
Mine hasn't came yet, so I don't really can't say because I haven't
What
seen
the
it in person,
fuck?
But from what I'm seeing on TV, they're fire with the pearl.
Mm-hmm.
They say and it has lights in it.
Yeah, it's got lights inside. It opens up.
I mean, I haven't looked at every World Series ring, honestly, but I feel like this is probably the best one ever.
You think so?
Yeah. There's only one with lights in it. It opens up.
So the
It
top
is
of this
pretty
thing
sick.
opens up?
Yeah. The like where the Braves logo is on the top opens up, and then there's like a field, and it marks every home run on the field with
Shit.
rubies or something like.
That's
yeah,
a
I'm
shit's
looking.
fire.
I'm like they did like Jostens did the ring. They also very famously did the Saugus High Class of 2007 rings, and this. Oh baby, yeah, 100 and.
That's sick.
755 total diamonds is a nice touch. 44 emerald cut diamonds. So lots of Hank Aaron references. Yeah, the lights inside the ring are like stadium lights. Yeah, this ring is fucking dope.
This is what the front office did the whole lockout. They just let's just figure out the ring.
Design that ring. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the amount of edibles that were consumed coming up with this? And dude, hey, I want it to fucking open up, huh? Let's pop the top on this fucking thing. Dude, we should throw lights in the like stadium lights, like from the field in the fucking ring. Oh,
How do they get the fucking, I don't know. But the 755 total diamonds is really cool, and then the 44 emerald cut diamonds.
that's
like,
baller.
That's sick. And then they
That's
also
show.
put the
That's
pearl
show.
in the middle of the trophy. The piece of metal has the pearl in it.
Yeah, this whole ring is Jock Peterson's idea. I guarantee it. They can't say that because it was the lockout, but they were probably on the phone.
Wow. And shout out to the Atlanta Braves for hooking their entire media crew up with the rings. Their pregame, postgame, in-game host, everybody got one.
Because it's a freaking well-run organization. Like none of these other fucking assholes. They know how to do it, bro. They do it the right way.
They don't know how to do it.
Oh.
Yeah. That ring is
now-
pretty dope.
We want to talk about
Oh.
Freeman?
Yeah, let's talk. This
That's-
seems like a good spot
It's a beautiful
to
segue.
talk about Freddie Freeman. Ronald Acuña Jr. goes on an Instagram live, and obviously it's all in Spanish, so there was room for interpretation. Some Braves fan Twitter account tweeted out that he said that he was glad Freddie was gone and was telling some story about Freddie wiping eye black off his face, saying like that's not what we do here, and just doing like a bullet point list of the things that he was saying to disparage Freddie Freeman as an Atlanta Brave and as a human being, and then responded to it by saying that he didn't say those things. And then the interviewer promptly comes in and is like, no, you said all that shit, which is wild. Like if you wanted the follow-up exclusive with Ronald Acuña Jr., I can't imagine you're going to get that now.
You got your interview.
Yeah, you got your interview. I can't imagine that there's ever going to be a part 2 or a follow-up to that. But the interviewer, I think, because that obviously that's the most damning evidence of all. I was like, no. I was there because I was actually the one that was asking him the questions. He said all those things he just denied saying.
I mean, it was on record. He said it on people aren't dumb. People know Spanish and English. There's people who know both languages.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are.
It didn't take that guy being like, he said it to break the news.
No, yeah, it was that's I was like I appreciate the open to interpretation because it's really not. It's open to be interpreted is more like it. And it was interpreted and well, words are words.
And that guy who did that guy who interviewed him, he's got a YouTube channel and he interviews like all these Latin players, and they do these. We probably miss shit like this all the time that we just never, because it's in Spanish.
Guaranteed. They're way more loose when they do that stuff.
Definitely.
Like the Latin players, for whatever reason, they love Instagram Live. Like they will do these long form interviews on Instagram Live with like I see Cora doing it with Carlos Baerga, and they'll have like guests like all off season they're on there for hours. Like Pujols does stuff on there. Big name active and former Major League Baseball players are giving long form interviews on Instagram Live constantly.
You want to know
we
why?
hear about them never.
You want to know why? Because
Why?
there is a reverence for the elder statesman in the game, and in the culture, there's a level of respect that doesn't translate to American-born players, where like older American-born players, say Hall of Famers who played in the 70s, all right? When they walk into a clubhouse, American-born Hall of Fame player walks into a clubhouse, he is not instantly gravitated towards by the younger American-born players and, hit with hugs and handshakes and asked questions, and that's just not the reality of it. But if you get like man, could you imagine what kind of reception Roberto Clemente would get if he was here and walked into a fucking clubhouse?
That'll be wild.
It would.
He'd be looked at as a god.
Because rightfully so. But like when Alex Cora, and Jared, I'm sure you've seen it, but when guys like that go home and are around their countrymen, there's just a level of inherent respect that comes along with being in the presence of players who have done it and have come from where you come from. And so there's a level of comfort there as well, because the feeling is, well, you're not here to tear me down. You're not here to like put me on blast. You're not trying to take advantage of me in any way. And I've got all the respect for what you've done, helping pave the way for other players like me to get here. So I've got all the time in the world for you. Absolutely. There's just a different level of respect. And I can say that I thoroughly enjoy that relationship between current players and former players more so than I do on the American board side of things.
Yeah, no, that's true. But anyways, Ronald Acuña Jr. says all these things about Freddie Freeman, which you're just not going to get that type of transparency anywhere else. I feel like just going out there and just flaming a Braves legend while you're still on the Braves.
Is it though? Is it that's the thing?
Yeah.
Like, is it flaming him because he was?
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I don't think it
I'm
is.
glad that he's gone.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Dallas. I'm glad he's gone. That's what other imagine like I'm trying to think of like the example like if Derek Jeter signed somewhere else in free agency and A-Rod was like, I'm fucking glad that guy's gone. You don't think that's a big story?
Well, everybody knows that he would have loved to have him gone. Like, there's no mystery to that.
I think Jeter would have loved to have A-Rod gone. I think that A-Rod, I don't think he would have wanted Jeter gone.
Well,
But
look, there's a lot of layers to this as well because Freddie Freeman, face of the franchise, okay? And for anybody who doesn't understand the Atlanta Braves organization, and Joey, I'm sure you have a depth of knowledge on this stuff, they are basically the National League version of the New York Yankees.
See, I had no idea.
In terms of, like I still have the sheet from when I got drafted. But Joey, did you know that I was originally drafted by the Atlanta Braves?
I did. I scouted you.
At a baby.
scouted you.
I was excited about that.
But I still have the sheet that outlines like the player pyramid, of character and accountability and I'm sure other organizations have stuff similar, but that's how they were rolling way back when. And I'm sure they were rolling like that many, many years before Dallas ever came along. But they're basically the New York Yankees of the National League, and Freddie Freeman is the face of that franchise. And so he's the one, as he said, who was sort of charged with the responsibility of making sure that culture was kept up. We don't cover the A on the hat. That's just out of respect for the logo. And that's out of respect for the franchise, out of the respect for guys like Hank Aaron, who came before us and have played this game and worn this uniform. That's not a Freddie Freeman thing. That's an organization thing. So the face of the franchise, that becomes his responsibility. The whole eye black thing. We can wear eye black, but we're not going to turn it into a, warrior paint type look thing. You could do that elsewhere. That's fine. But the Atlanta Braves don't do that. Just like the New York Yankees don't allow you to grow a goatee. The Atlanta Braves are telling you that you can't put eye black on with your entire fucking hand and drag it down your face. That's
What do you
what
think
the Braves.
if Freddie didn't say it, do you think the Braves would have would someone else say it? Do you think that rule is that hard enforced, or is it like up to Freddie, who if Freddie was like, no, we don't really care anymore, then I'm sure it'd be fine, no?
No. And what happens is, again, elder statesmen, right? People that are around the game. Chipper Jones, ever present in that organization still, will always be the god that he is in that organization. Andrew Jones, same thing. John Smoltz, right? Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux. These guys walking around still very present in those rooms. They still carry that cachet. And so you put it on Freddie Freeman's plate because the message is coming from up top and it's being delivered to the mediator, who's Freddie Freeman, and they're asking him to disseminate that to the ranks below. Your teammates, Freddie. So Freddie's got to do that. If it's not Freddie, it's going to be somebody else that has that conversation. I believe, though, to your point, Joey, that there would be a little hesitation. Why? Because the contract that you just signed Ronald Acuña Jr. up to tells everybody who the next face of the franchise is going to be. And you're now charged with instilling that moral compass into a guy that you might understand could give you a little pushback on that. Because he likes to wear his hat off to the side a little. And he likes to wear his shades on his hat. And he likes to pull the eye black down on his face. And he's also going to be a fucking 40-40 guy. So how do you have that conversation with that guy without stepping on toes or it sounding like you're an old man yelling at a cloud trying to tell this kid to play the game the right way? Right?
It seems stupid. I mean, bro, the Braves were taking, Marcell Ozuna was doing selfies in between third and home.
Oh, hey, trust me.
But it's like, you can't wear the sunglasses. I mean, I don't know. It sucks, Freddie. I don't. I mean, the interview with Freddie was really kind of like sad. He was like, really, it hurt his feelings. You know, you could tell. He doesn't like being like the bad guy, and
I think he did a great job of understanding what had happened, which is he knew that he was going to have to be the one to deliver those messages and have those tough conversations with Ronnie. As much as he has seen the game around him change, right? And he's like, well, guys are having fun. I'm fucking mic'd up, doing interviews, yucking it up and talking shit with the announcers during the game. Like, I'm doing stuff like this. Like, all right, yeah, I'll go tell Ronnie that he's got to wear his glasses on the back of his hat and to not cover the logo up. But like, yeah, all right. Because what would Freddie be doing to himself if he looked at the manager or whoever and was like, yo, I'm not having that conversation. You go have that conversation. Now the luster of Freddie Freeman being the franchise guy starts to wear off. Like, oh, is Freddie digging his heels in now? Like, I thought Freddie Freeman was our clubhouse guy. I thought he was the dude to do this. Now he doesn't want to do it. Are we losing the clubhouse? Has the Atlanta Brave way started to go astray? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, but that would only piss off people who don't play in the Braves anymore. Or I don't know. I mean, who would that piss off? If Freddie Freeman didn't say that. I mean, I guess we just talked about this, but do you think someone asked Freddie Freeman to tell Ronald Acuña, like, tell him, no eye black, no sunglasses? Or he just, like, knew that rule and then was like, I guess I have to do it?
Yes, a combination. Like, it's probably brought up like, hey, has anybody said anything to him about wearing the glasses on his... Has anybody said anything to him about the eye black? Like, that conversation might happen with Freddie, and then Freddie's got to say something.
It's unfortunate because now Freddie Freeman, as a Braves fan, we have to ban him for 1 year.
I was going to say, how's Bravesville think about this? What do they think about this?
On Twitter, I think like Twitter, everyone's on Ronald's side. Like, a lot of people have turned on Freddie in a way, or at least they say, but they really don't. Like, it's like, you know, it's hard to gauge it, but I think a lot of Braves fans who aren't on Twitter probably are like, fuck Ronald Acuña for saying this. How dare he? You know, like the average fan is probably still riding with Freddie Freeman. But I think you can't turn on your guy. I think it's bullshit that they would even care that he wore eye black.
Yeah, and isn't this what you want? Isn't this what like fans want? Like from a fan base perspective, don't you want to hear answers to those questions when they get asked to players like Ronnie?
Yeah.
So that's why I always question fans that go into a rabid attack mode when stuff like this gets said, because these are the answers to the questions you have. And the question got asked and you got your answer. And now it's like, fuck Freddie Freeman or fuck Ronald Acuña, or it's like, why can't we just live in a world where we listen to the answer that we got and we appreciate that you're actually getting those types of answers as opposed to a canned bullshit response, which is, oh, I wish Freddie the best. Yeah, it was great. He was a great leader, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm happy for him. Because if you know that that's not true, don't you want the truth?
I was surprised how quickly Braves fans moved on / turned on Freddie Freeman. Obviously, the Ronald Acuña Jr. interview expedited that process, but the day of the Freddie Freeman trade, or the day of the Matt Olson trade, that preceded the Freddie Freeman signing with the Dodgers. So it was obviously, you knew that he was gone before he even signed elsewhere. And I remember tweeting stuff like, hey, Braves fans, I've been there. I know what it feels like to lose a franchise player that just, won you a World Series and won an MVP. I know what that feels like. It sucks. But I will say, like, in my position, the Red Sox didn't bring in a younger, better superstar outfielder to replace Mookie Betts. The Red Sox had a fucking terrible, garbage-ass 2020, and it was brutal. In the Atlanta Braves situation, you knew that the passing of the torch was going to be Matt Olson with a huge extension, so it's not like a stopgap guy. He's now your guy. He's younger, and you could make the case that he's better. And try not necessarily, like, coddling is not the right word, but trying to, like, comfort Braves fans, being like, hey, like, you guys, like, it sucks that Freddie's gone, but you guys have the best possible scenario has unfolded as a result of Freddie Freeman not returning to this franchise. That being said, the day that Matt Olson hits his first home run with the Atlanta Braves, I tweet out, some of Braves fans, they already love this guy. Like, I know, like, it sucks losing Freddie, but some of you love Matt, and the rest of you, you're going to get there really soon. And the response to that tweet was, bro, we're already there. All of us are already there. We love Matt Olson. Fuck Freddie Freeman. And, like, the fact that it happened that quickly, and it wasn't just we accept Matt Olson. He's ours. This is our guy. We love Matt Olson.
No, it
was we love Matt Olson. Fuck Freddie Freeman.
Yep.
Like, that's the temperature of the room right now, which to me is very surprising because of who Freddie is as a guy, and what he meant to that franchise for a long time. That seems like a very quick, you're out, fuck you. Also kind of getting familiar with the character of Braves country. They seem like a fun-loving, we love baseball, we love our guys group. I don't want to say Braves fans is culty, because it's not culty, like, in the sense that I guess trying to think of, like, what would be like a culty fan base. Padres maybe. It's more of like a fraternity than it is a cult. But yeah, Freddie is very clearly booted from this fraternity.
I can't even say I told you so, because my I told you so was how much you're going to love Olson and how quickly he's going to help you get over the loss of Freddie Freeman. And you just said it perfectly, Jared, because it's no longer, oh man, we really love Olson. It's, we love Olson, but hold on, don't go anywhere. We also like to tell you how much we fucking despise Freddie Freeman now.
He's banned for 1 year. That's just the facts.
He's banned for 1 year.
Well, he's back for 1 day. You can give him the ring and you can clap, but for 1 year, he's banned. And Matt Olson he is Freddie Freeman. It's like the same guy, but he's from Georgia. Same vibe, everything.
Matt Olson is a perfect fit. Matt Olson is the perfect Brave. He's the perfect successor, the heir to Freddie's throne. I don't think that there was a better fit available. I don't know that. I don't know why I didn't see that sooner. I guess because I thought it was a foregone conclusion that the Yankees would do whatever it took to get Matt Olson. But
Yeah,
kind of seeing.
And I thought there was no way that Atlanta lets Freddie walk.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I felt before the lockout. And then coming out of the lockout, it sounded like, all right, there's no chance he's coming back. And if he's not coming back, then the foregone conclusion was he's going to the Dodgers, which is what inevitably happened. But yeah, no, it's a perfect fit. It's a perfect marriage. And I'm happy for Braves fans. Happy for Joey.
I will say one more thing. I saw a report that was saying that people on the Braves had problems with Freddie because he was he was too much of a family man. He was interested in his family, but Matt Olson is for the boys. And they already went bowling or something like that. That's
Well,
it's looking
Matt
up
Olson,
for the Braves.
newly married, Matt Olson.
Newly married, but for the boys.
He's about
For
the
the-
boys. I saw this as was reported on Twitter.
See, there you go. I mean, Matt Olson, what was it? We did the fucking go-karts with Manaea. Was he there for laser tag?
Yeah.
For the boys.
Isn't that so funny though? It's like Freddie Freeman's on the Braves for 10 years. Everyone's like, this guy, just perfect family guy. Look at his little kid on the field. It's so nice. And then he leaves and they're like, dude, Freddie was too much into his family. He just came to the park.
You know,
left.
they are absolutely, Joey, they are tearing, you guys are absolutely tearing Freddie Freeman apart for things that you built him up for the better part of a damn decade. Like, you love to, oh, look, Freddie Freeman fucking trick-or-treating with his family. He sees another little fella dressed as Freddie Freeman. Oh, and takes a picture. Man, Freddie's the fucking ideal guy. I love this guy. Could you believe that son of a bitch Freddie Freeman would rather spend time with his fucking family? Oh, look at me. I got a fucking family. Oh, I'm a
Look
nice
at me,
guy.
I got a fucking family.
Like, damn, Braves fans. Cut the guy some fucking slack.
I think it's even funnier because it would make a little bit more. It would still be crazy, but it would make a little bit more sense if Freddie didn't help deliver a World Series title. But that's literally the last thing that he did for them was homering in the clinching game of a World Series championship, and then they moved on before he did. They traded for Matt Olson before he signed elsewhere, and everyone's like, "Fuck you, dude. See ya."
That fucking Freddie Freeman. What's wrong? Well, I tell you what's wrong with him. He's got he loves his fucking kids. Okay, we'll start there. Loves his fucking kids. 2, son of a bitch had the audacity to win a fucking World Series. You believe this guy? Oh, family guy wins a fucking championship. Who's this fucking guy think he is? Get him the fuck out of town.
This fucking family man loser decided to sign with another team after we moved on from him. Fuck you.
You know, it's way more complicated than that.
It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't.
It doesn't seem like it.
First of all, everyone knows Atlanta, the Braves, we're a family. So
Not apparently.
Yeah. Not apparently.
sometimes you get kicked out of the family, man. You get a 1-year suspension.
Hey, you guys see the pitch comp shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it.
Not a fan of it. Not a fan of the pitch comp stuff.
It's no. So Dennis Eckersley was talking about it on the broadcast. He was actually very displeased that on like 2 strike counts, like he's trying to like see the sign, and I guess from like a broadcast, I mean, I guess you can speak to that too, Dallas. Like from a broadcasting perspective, does it bother you that you can't like see the sign, or do you not care?
I don't care because, like, and man, it sucks to hear that from Eck, because something that I've enjoyed about watching Eck is him sequencing along with the catcher. And like I did it, I was doing it yesterday. But that's where his analysis becomes paramount, becomes really important, giving us that insight as to why you believe what's coming next is coming next, right? Like, right or wrong remains to be seen, but tell me why you're thinking what you're thinking. And being able to see the catcher signs, that can assist in that analysis. So let's rewind. From a player's perspective, I've got a lot of mixed feedback on it. There's guys who just don't want to adjust and, aren't going to do the new wave technology stuff. And I get it. That's fine. Comfort level. There's other guys who are like, yeah, man, I came up using technology. Like, this isn't going to be anything crazy for me to try. Doing it, I actually like it. Why? Because I can throw a pitch, get the ball back, and then by the time I'm on the mound, I've already had that next pitch called for me. So I engage the rubber, get set, and as the hitter steps in and gets ready, I'm not waiting on a sign. I don't have to step on the rubber and get ready and then wait for the batter to step in the box and get ready and then get the sign and then go. You catch the ball, and by the time you're walking back up the hill and get to the rubber, you've already got your sign. So the fluidity of the exchange can increase. And for guys who work quickly, they really enjoy that. They like getting it and go. Like that creates game flow. Defensive players love playing behind guys who work quickly because there's a game flow, a palpable, tangible feeling to what's about to happen next. Like you could literally time it out. It's like watching a dance unfold, and you know the steps to the dance.
Wouldn't middle infielders want to know what the sign is too, so they can better position themselves?
Don't they have that? They have it in their hat too, I think.
They have it in their hat too.
Yeah.
There's
they
5
do?
players. Yeah, so there's 5 there's 5 receivers that are allowed on the field at any given time, and the only communication it comes from the catcher. So you can't say anything like from the pitcher to catcher, or from the shortstop to the pitcher, or from the center fielder to the catcher, or catcher to center fielder directly. That's not the case. What the catcher says, or what button the catcher presses, that message gets sent out to all of the headsets, including the catcher's headset. So he knows that he pressed the right button. So once that gets put out there, now everybody knows.
Makes sense.
So if you don't like the pitch, you shake off. And there was some talk about, well, because like for me, I didn't shake pitch. I shook location. So if you gave me fastball and I didn't want fastball, I wanted a changeup, I just stare at you. I don't shake. I just stare. And so you start pumping fingers, you finally get to the changeup, good to go. But say I wanted fastball in and you give me fastball away. Well, I'm shaking to location. You've got the right pitch. You just need to change the location. So I shake, you give me heater away, we're good to go. Now it's like, well, fuck, what are you shaking? You shaking location? You shaking pitch? Like, how are we going to figure that out? So there might be some ironing out there. But yeah, and the other note about it is it's only transmissible right now in English and Spanish. So they're still working on like alternative language, whether
Japanese,
Chinese, Korean, like whatever different dialects guys might speak. I don't know. I don't know how like how crazy they could get with it. But my question was, and I said this on the broadcast yesterday, how long is it going to take for guys to start trying to pick signs just by watching what button is getting pressed? But that gets solved because because you can move the pitch denomination. So say fastball is in the upper left-hand corner on this pad. Well, you can move it so that fastball would be on the bottom right-hand corner. So like after an at-bat, you can't just go back and look at video and go, well, every time he goes to the top left of his pad, it's a fastball. Every time he goes to the bottom right of his pad, it's off speed. You can't do that. Teams are allowed to move those buttons around so that they mean different things at different spots. Because that's what I said. That was my first thought was, cool, now I just got something else to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But,
and you can change I heard you can change the voice. You can start recording some people's voices in there.
That'd be awesome.
So you get
That'd be
Dallas
awesome.
Braden
Yeah.
for the A's.
See, that's where like I need a closer's soundboard for that. Like Liam Hendricks. Like if I'm the catcher giving Liam Hendricks signs, I want him to hear, throw the fucking heater. I don't want him to hear fastball out. Shove it up their fucking ass. And he knows what that is.
It's interesting. It's fascinating. I'm glad that it's here. I feel like we've been talking about this ever since the Astros cheating scandal. Why don't they? The NFL has the technology with microphones and the helmets. Why can't we do this in baseball? Well, they're trying. I'm in favor of it. I think it's more interesting than anything. Where it's like we're talking, and the next thing that we're going to get to here talking about the umpires having microphones to address the crowds, which is Dallas's crowning contribution to the game. I love that. I mean, it was when Dallas first brought it up, like last year or the year before, I was like, all right, yeah, that seems like I don't need that, but it would be, I guess it makes sense to have it, but I'm not going to like bang my fist on the table until we get it. And then we got it, and I was like, oh shit, this is fucking awesome. It's not like that, I guess, with the pitch calling technology that some of these teams are using right now, and not all teams are using it. I think some teams tried it out in the spring training and they weren't huge on it, or they couldn't hear. The pitchers couldn't hear, so they were like, all right, well, let's not get in a situation where we're dependent on this, but we can't actually use it properly. So not all teams are using it. But yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about those umpires getting mic'd up, Dallas, because this was something that you've been talking about before. It was even rumored to be a thing. I do think I don't even want to speculate. I will say for a fact, there are people in the major league offices who listen to this show.
Yes. We know that.
And I don't want to fill Dallas's head up right now. But I almost want to give him credit for this happening. Like
you can give me that credit.
No one was talking about this. Dallas would just every once in a while he would just throw it out there, and be like, all right, yeah, okay, all right. But he would throw it out there, and then randomly, just out of the fucking blue, they were like, hey, by the way, we mic'd up our umpires, so now whenever there's a challenge, they can actually address the crowd, because that was always part of like how do you speed up the game? How do you make it more interesting? How do you make it appeal to a younger audience? And it would be like, all right, pitch clock this and, speed up that and less commercials, ads on the jerseys. And then Dallas would always just throw in this thing about the fucking umpires having microphones. And I'm like, that's the only place that I heard that he's the only person that I heard talk about this. And then it just kind of happened. It was like, hey, by the way, as part of these labor negotiations, I know that we were talking about money and arbitration and salaries and all this other stuff. But by the way, we put microphones on the umpires. It was not something that was, I guess, rumored. It was just like, oh, by the way, we did this. And then we were kind of waiting to see what does this look like? What does it go like? What are the crowd reactions going to be? And I think we lucked out as a sport, as a society, that the first one to go viral was in Toronto, where, by the way, I don't know who made it. I don't know if it was a bunch of people. I'm assuming it was a bunch of people that contributed to this, but the hype video that the Toronto Blue Jays dropped at the Rogers Center on opening night, Scorsese. I mean, it should get an Oscar. It should get an Oscar for what they did with that hype video. So that's number one. And then to have one of the first, if not the first, situations where an umpire has to address a sold out crowd to explain what happened. Are they safe? Are they out? The camera work, having the live shot be at an angle where you're looking at the Blue Jays in their dugout, but you also have a shot of the crowd in Toronto behind them. Be like, the call on the field is safe. At the pop of this crowd, WrestleMania-esque. WrestleMania. It was like the fucking Rock returned at WrestleMania, and the crowd erupting was like, oh, we weren't expecting the Rock to come back, and his music just hit. That's what we got.
It was Batista Homer-esque. Like, it legitimately was Batista Homer-esque. Now, before I get into my thoughts on it, Joey, I want to hear what your experience has been as a lifelong baseball fan that has watched the game and is now watching it come across your television with some different characteristics than you've seen in the past. And I don't know if you've seen a ton of games yet that have had this happen, where you've watched the mechanics of the umpire review and the announcement unfold. But what do you think about the game getting to this point in communicating with fans in the stands and at home, what's happening on the field?
Oh, I think it's just better for the reaction with the fans. I mean, everyone was saying, oh, it's not really an explanation. What people were saying, like,
Don't steal my thunder.
Okay, whatever. But no, what's better about it is like they don't do the shit now where they have to get like all the wires on the field. What they used to do, like go to the side. It's like actually probably quicker now.
Yeah, just a little headset. Like they're already strapped on. Like they've got they got the little headset. Boom, throw it in, and they're talking or they're listening.
And I don't know if this is what happens, but if they have a microphone on all the time now, potentially if MLB's smart, we start recording the freaking managers coming at them.
Oh yeah,
posting that online.
Absolutely. Trust me, that was part of my other thing was the hot mic potential.
Yeah.
And if Major League Baseball understood what they had here, they're going to be able to harness some horsepower, some great back and forth. And you do your due diligence and you go through and you edit and you delete and you clean up some stuff. And then it becomes something that you can put out there and consume. And people are like, yo, these fucking people, these baseball people are fucking nuts. like the shit that they're arguing about is absolutely insane. But I'll say this. This just happened yesterday in the A's game against the Phillies. Christian Pache made a ridiculous slide at home plate, came in head first, got his hand in under the tag, hit home plate well before the tag was applied. All right. And so call gets made and people aren't happy about it. Phillies fans not happy. Fuck that. He's fucking out. Go back, replay that shit. I don't believe you.
Go back.
So they go back and replay it. And then the home plate umpire gets on the microphone, and this is what he says. After the review, the runner was ruled safe. The runner is safe. Hey, thanks for that. Thanks for that. You know what? I feel so much better about what just unfolded now that you've audibly told me he was safe, as opposed to just throwing your fucking arms out by your side and giving me the safe call that I've understood since I was 3. I just needed to hear it. I need to hear the word. Thanks. That we're missing a little here, right? That teaching moment is what I have been clamoring about for so long. So what I would like to hear is what we were fucking reviewing and why we got the answer that we got. So upon review, the play was challenged, did not believe that the runner was safe. After further review, the runner's hand was on the plate before the tag was applied. The runner is safe. That right there is why we have the microphones on the umpires. That's why we have the microphone on the umpire. Not for them to audibly confirm what they physically gestured. No, that's because there's no difference. Right? At the end of the day, there's no difference. You're not doing us any greater good by just going, yep, after looking at it again, still believe he's safe. Like that's ultimately what that is. So if you just take that 5 extra seconds to explain what just happened, well, now we're cooking. Now we've got it. You know, that's why I use the tag play at like on a pop fly. Say there's a guy on first base, deep fly ball to left center, and the guy at first base rounds second, touches second. He's on his way to third because he thinks he's going to score on this double that's going to fall. Well, let's say the guy catches it in center field on the warning track, and he's going to get up and make a play at first base. And the runner who ran around second starts coming back from third, and we all know that he has to tag second base on his way back to first base. Well, what if he doesn't tag second base and like cuts the corner or whatever a little and misses it? How is that going to get explained? That's where the umpire has to say, the call is under review. Upon review, the runner returning to first base did not tag second while returning to first base. Therefore, the runner is out. he did not correctly tag up. You've just explained to everybody what the fuck happened. Nobody in the stands is going, well, I saw him run over to third, and then I saw the guy catch the ball, and, well, the runner, he ran back, and he got to first base before the ball got there. Why are they calling him out? It's no longer the guy who's 7 tall cans deep in the 8th inning. It's no longer his job to explain to his buddy what's happening. The umpire has just had an opportunity to teach the game to the people at home and the people in the stands. That's what the microphone is for. Not for them to go, yeah, I know y'all thought that was pretty fucked up, right? The base running. It was. He's out.
They got to practice. They didn't even do that spring training.
No.
I think they're going to probably do that.
Yeah, I would hope so, because otherwise the effort is falling short, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, if for now that clip in Toronto was absolutely electric, I can't wait to see what some of these umpire mic scenarios look like in October, and I can't wait for Angel Hernandez to, doesn't matter if he's overturning a call in favor of the crowd. Like, the second he turns his mic on, he will be getting booed just for speaking.
Oh, God.
Like, it will not matter if he's overturning a call in favor of the home team or not. That video is going to be fantastic. Any other what?
Oh, no, I was going to say it's going to be even better when he hears those boos, says what he has to say, and then forgets to turn the mic off, and you just hear a "fuck all of you." Click. Like, whoa, Angel. We heard that. Oh, no, that wasn't me. Yeah, I can't wait for that moment.
Yeah. All right. Any other final thoughts here before we get the fuck out?
Congratulations. My final thoughts. Mm-hmm. Congratulations to Mark Kotsay. Former teammate of mine, Mark Kotsay, current Oakland Athletics manager, on his first career victory as a big league manager. Got a beer bath, beer shower. It was a beautiful scene. Couldn't be happier for the man.
Mm-hmm. It was really cool. I saw his interview that he did after the beer shower, and you could tell he was really moved by that. And I think, stating the obvious, it's gonna be a challenging year in Oakland this season. I think he's still the right guy for the job. Obviously, Baumel had a rough debut with the Padres. That the bullpen management, absolute meltdown on opening day against the D-backs. The Seth Beer walk-off homer, they entered the 9th inning in a 2-0 ball game, ended up losing that one. But
Seth
Kotsay
Beer walk
feels
off on Beer Day, on National Beer Day.
On National Beer Day. But yeah, Kotsay feels like the right guy for this group of players during this transition period. So I'm happy for him that he's being embraced the way that he has been. Yeah, it's a new chapter in Oakland, Dallas.
That's former Red Sox legend Mark Kotsay. Jake, just so you know.
Yeah, love that. Joey, any final thoughts?
Nope. Shout out to the Skeletons.
Yeah.
The skeleton
crew. Oh, my final thought. Joey's new YouTube video on Baseball Doesn't Exist is a roughly 20-minute masterpiece on the, I don't want to say complicated history of Bryce Harper, but it is fascinating. Like, his story is fascinating. And I think Joey did a fucking awesome job kind of taking it from the beginning to the end, or at least to the current time, and doing him justice in terms of like, yeah, like here's what happened at this point, here's what happened at that point. And I did read the comments, and a lot of people, you were able to change their perception on how they view Bryce Harper, which is kind of what we tried to do. And we got similar reaction when Bryce came on the podcast last year. There were a lot of people who said, I didn't think, like, I think of him differently. I think of him in a more positive way. Now I understand him better. The reaction that you got was very, very similar, which I thought was really awesome. I thought you did a great job on the video. So go over to Baseball Doesn't Exist on YouTube and watch that video. I still think it's fucking insane that you take 2 weeks to do a video is like a lot of work and effort that goes into that. So go, if you haven't already, head over to that YouTube channel, check it out. Also check out, if you prefer Baseball is Dead on YouTube, we're on YouTube as well on the DraftKings YouTube page. Jake, any final thoughts?
Not really. It's just good to have baseball back. Good to have the podcast back, and it's just good vibes right now.
I agree with that. Vibes are high. Enjoy this week of baseball. We'll be back. The scheduling, we're going to record on Monday mornings and Thursday mornings. So I know some people were already tweeting me being like, where's the podcast? We're going to record as early as the schedule allows. Dallas, for the most part, is out on the West Coast. So we're not going to ask him to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to do the show. So we're working with people's schedules here as, Dallas has other things to do. Joey has other things to do. I have other things to do. And then geographically where we're at that given time. We'll give it to you on Mondays and Thursdays at the earliest convenience for everyone involved. But thank you for listening. Let's have a fucking baseball season. Let's enjoy this shit while we got it, okay? Happy opening day, happy opening weekend, and we'll see you on Thursday. We go!